Okay, now we're going to be looking at partial fractions and what they are and why we use them. Okay, so first of all, what are partial fractions? Partial fractions are a way to split up a complex fraction into simpler fractions, and we use them ताकि हमारे लिए problem solve करना आसान हो. Suppose we have a differentiation का question, then what we can use is कि हम एक partial fractions बना के फिर differentiate करें, फिर हम individual terms को differentiate करेंगे instead of differentiating the entire complex fraction. तो अब ये फॉर्म बनती होती है पी एक्स ओवर क्यू एक्स, मतलब there's a numerator which is a polynomial and then there's a denominator which is also a polynomial. Now we're going to look at steps on how to actually solve these partial fractions. Step 1, we have to make / check for a proper fraction. The concept of partial fractions is only possible for proper fractions. An improper fraction first has to be converted into a proper fraction through long division, and then it can be converted into partial fractions. So a proper fraction is one in which the numerator has a lesser degree than the denominator. For example, 1 over x, the numerator has degree 0 and the denominator has degree 1, and in x square over 1 plus x, the numerator has degree 2 and the denominator has degree 1. Second step is to factorize the denominator. Whatever the polynomial is in the denominator, we'll factorize them using the three methods that we've studied: midterm break, factorization using completion of square, or by using the quadratic formula or any other formula. Then we have step number 3. We have to write the general form of the partial equation, the partial fractions. For this, we will look at an example in the next video. And then lastly, we have to use simple algebra to solve the partial fractions after simplification. This is an overview of how we're going to be moving through any partial fraction question. In the NET, you're only going to be getting questions related to finding the constants in these equations. जब हम एक partial fraction को उसकी general form में लिखते हैं तो हमारे पास multiple constants आ जाते हैं, और NET में आपसे सिर्फ ये पूछा जाएगा कि आप उन constants को find करें. There are no other types of MCQs that come from this chapter. Okay, now we have to see कि हमारे पास कितने types of constants या coefficients हमने find करने होते हैं, और उनकी type depend करती है on the nature of the denominator. अब denominator for example हमारे पास अगर 1 plus x है, that is a linear denominator. ठीक हो गया, तो हम इसके लिए हम सिर्फ a रखेंगे in the constants या the coefficients. फिर हमारे पास है 1 over 1 plus x का whole square. This is also a linear denominator, but इसका whole square है, तो it will be a linear repeating denominator. तो इसके लिए हम दो constant इस्तेमाल करेंगे, a over 1 plus x plus b over 1 plus x का whole square. Then we have 1 over x square plus 1. इसमें denominator is quadratic. For quadratic हमने ax plus b या तो मतलब constant into x plus constant का इस्तेमाल करते हैं in the numerator for the partial fraction general form. तो इसके लिए हमारे पास ये हो गया, this is a quadratic non-repeating form. And then lastly we have 1 over x square plus 1 का whole square. This is a quadratic and repeating. So हम इसमें दो numerator इस्तेमाल करेंगे, ax plus b and cx plus d. ax plus b के नीचे हमारे पास आ गया x square plus 1, cx plus d के नीचे आ गया हमारे पास x square plus 1 का whole square. These are the four types. Again मैं repeat कर देता हूँ: linear, then we have linear plus repeated, then we have quadratic, and then we have quadratic plus repeated. Each of these will have a different partial fraction की general form. That's it for this video. अब हम next video में एक example solve करेंगे of partial fractions, and any question जो भी आपको NET में मिलता है वो उसी pattern पे follow करेगा.